won't you come on in?
Manchester. Here's Peter White.
Good morning, Peter.
I know that, dude.
All right, here we go. It's Monday morning, everybody. Good Monday morning to you. Good morning, Manchester. It's the morning show. And we're coming at you live at 95.3 FM, WMNH. Wow. Now, was that a hot weekend or what? I mean, did you get out there and get into some of that, or did you stay cool all weekend? I did a little bit of both, I'll tell you that much. We got a good one for you today. But I'm going to start off with the temperature. We have 72 degrees in downtown Manchester. It is going to be a little cooler today, and the weather will be changing. So, yeah, you might want to bring an umbrella. Maybe some showers this morning or later this afternoon. All right, to the show now. We have the return this morning of someone very important to the show here. We haven't seen him in a while. And should I tell you guys now, or should we just be surprised after? I mean, because I know you're thinking, is it Easy G? Who is it? It could be anybody, right? I'm going to save it. So 8 o'clock, we will have a very special return this morning on the morning show. All right. Very excited. We'll have Carol Robidoux back with Manchester Ink Link. That'll be coming up at 7:30. And we are smack in the middle of summer, folks. A lot of people on vacation still. A lot of people coming back from vacation. I mean, what do you do when it's that hot out? All right. I'll tell you what. I've been I have been thinking about Friday's show. And we had the medium, psychic medium Regina Rivard on. And it wasn't what I was expecting that morning, and it kind of stuck with me. I thought about it all weekend. I don't know if you guys heard the show, but I recommend checking out that second hour when we believe we were visited by the late Don Tibbetts, who has not been with us for 20 years. And It was quite amazing. T was on the phone. Gary was on the phone. I think we were all really, really moved by it. And, I'm not even sure if you want to believe in stuff like that, right? Or do you say it's far-fetched? Well, like Mike Doyle said on Friday, he's always been kind of on the bubble. You wanna believe that stuff, and I don't know. I don't know what to say. You be the judge. What do you think happened on Friday? All right. The phone lines are open this morning, 250-6007. We have our Facebook Live room open. Miriam Banish, first one in there this morning. Good morning, Miriam. Heidi Hamer, good morning. Jan Beaupillard, good morning. Now she's up. Are you still up at the beach, Jan? Because it looks like you're having a good time up there. So, all right. Bill Burke, good morning to you. And, of course, one of our top fans, Angela Philbrook. Been there since the beginning, Angela. So very good. Heidi Hamer, good morning to you. So, yeah, I want to have Regina back. And I want to thank Chrissy Cantor, by the way, for introducing all of us to Regina Rivard. It was really, really something. I thought about it, and I thought about everything she said, and everything she said right up to everything she said, how this person was communicating from the other side to her, and everything this person said was on the resume of Don Tibbetts, who, if you don't know Don Tibbetts, you know our friend T, right? The, famous phys ed teacher up over at Manchester High School Central for all those years. But his dad was a very, very big guy in the media. Like he was started out on, I believe it was WMUR, or if it wasn't WMUR, it was WGIR TV, but I think it was WMUR. And then he did the radio for many, many, many years, local radio. I mean, if you were listening to the radio in the early 1960s, I mean, you know who Don Tibbetts is. And it was just amazing where, and Regina also said he's been hanging around here. So it wasn't even the first time. He just likes to hang around this area, I guess, this show. Maybe because of my connection with T and Gary. I don't know. Or some people say I have CDs here of old broadcasts of Don Tibbetts, and I do play them on the radio occasionally on Sunday. And maybe it's that. Are we carrying on the legacy of? I mean, this guy was a broadcast genius, and he did it at such a long time ago too. I don't know. Very impressive. Very impressive. Good morning to Ellen Philbrook. Good morning. Good morning to Kevin Marchand. Good morning. And we are very excited. I can't wait to show you our special guest today. It's the return of somebody. You know what I'm saying? Who do you think it is? Why don't you throw some guests out there in the Facebook Live room? Phone lines are open, 250-6007. I was hoping T was listening. I was hoping T would give us a call this morning because he put up a Facebook post on the weekend saying he was still, he was still very moved by it. And then that Friday night, I called T that night and I said, wow, I can't believe it. But when I first called, he goes, Peter, I can't talk now. I'm listening to the show with Sam. And so anyway, they listened to the show, and then I talked to both of them, and they were, Sam was like, yep, that was it. That was the real deal. So do you guys believe in that stuff? Do you guys believe that people from the other side can communicate with all us here? Sounds kind of silly, right? I don't know. I heard the door. See, I'm seeing things in that other room again. And I'm here by myself this morning. And I have the door open so I can see in the offices over here. And I am hearing noises, and I am seeing things like Mike Doyle saw it the other day. I don't know. All right. Yeah, Jan Beaupillard, you are right on the money there. If I had a prize to give you, you would win. Ed Murphy says, Easy G. No, there is no, has anyone seen Easy? Last sighting was about, 8 days ago at Market Basket. Nobody's seen him. Sarah Beaudry hasn't seen him. He usually goes to all the events for in-town Manchester, all the free concerts. Wasn't Recycle Percussion over here this weekend? Did that happen this weekend? I'm not sure. I didn't come downtown this weekend. I really did try to stay cool. I really did. So let's see, what else do we have here? Oh yeah, we have the days of the week here, and we had to get it together this morning, folks. Telling you, it's that Don Tibbetts thing. He's probably here right now. All right, here we go, folks. It is July 22nd. All right, and it is Monday, of course, and it is National Hammock Day. Now, if you have a hammock in your yard, that's pretty cool. My grandmother had a hammock in her yard, but it wasn't hooked up to like two trees or anything. It was like one of those hammock stands. Like a stand just for a hammock. Pretty cool, though. A hammock is nice. All right, it is, let's see, National Fudge Day. All right, I like fudge, but you can't, if you got, my grandmother used to like fudge from Nichols Market, formerly Youngsville Market, out there on Candia Road. I would have to go down there and get fudge for her. Yep, National Fudge Day. All right, it is, okay, now this is a day right here, but it's Monday. A lot of people are going back to work or whatever, but it is Summer Leisure Day. Just lie around. You can just take it easy today. I like to do that a lot. The life of leisure. You know what I'm saying. All right. So we have, that's really it for days. That's really, these things are getting, we're going to discontinue this whole day thing because I'm really getting sick of it. So, okay, well, I'm going to tell you who's coming on at 8 because I can't keep a secret. It is, Jan, you're right. It is Darryl Dion will be here. Darryl the Dragon Dion will be here by the 8 o'clock hour, and we're looking forward to that. For those of you that don't know, Darryl has been away recovering from shoulder surgery. So he's an all-new man, and he has been on the radio already on the Weekly Dion, I think on 2 of them. And he's coming back to the morning show this morning, so we're looking forward to that. And I know on Wednesday, Matt Kusain will be here with a very special guest. So we got a lot going on here. Sometimes in the summer, things get kind of slow. All right, here we go. Let's say, municipal elections, okay? We're going to touch upon this with Carol in just a little bit. But filing is done. Everyone is out there. We're going to go over the entire thing with Carol. But there's a few surprises in there on Friday. A lot of people are going for that school charter commission. It's a big slate of over 30 people, I think. And I know a few people on there too. So looking forward to that. So if you are, I think there's there's going to be a primary in all wards as far as alderman goes and school board, I believe. So that makes for an exciting primary this coming September. And we will be sending, Manchester Public Television will be sending out invitations. You will have a chance to do a 3-minute speech on TV. You'll have a TV spot where we play all the speeches. And an invite to come on this show. No matter what party you're affiliated with or whatever, you can come on this show and tell everyone what you got, why you want to be elected to where you're, the office you're seeking. Is it going to be hard to say goodbye to Tim Baines? I know he's concentrating on his business and everything, but wow, I thought he did a great job and is doing a great job right down here in Ward 3. Not to take anything away from our friend Pat Long. I'm just saying it's great to have people that care, especially Ward 3 down here in Manchester. It's such an important ward with all the businesses and now actually with a lot of people living down here. City living, they call it. All right, let's see what else we have here. I'm telling you that Don Tibbetts thing is still sticking with me. Did you guys listen to the show? Was anyone fascinated by that? And I don't usually think about that stuff. Like when I go home on the weekends, I don't, I just kind of put the show away and do my own thing. And, but I'll tell you what, this one really stuck with me. I actually listened to it a couple of times, that second hour. That's right, Amy Green. I'm solo this morning, but we do have a surprise coming up. Well, it's not a surprise anymore. I just said it. Darryl the Dragon Dion will be joining us shortly. So we're excited about it. All right. A lot of people want to talk about I don't even like really talking about it because I really do try to see everything good that goes on in this city. But obviously, there's been some crime and there's been some shootings, and there was that shooting over on Union Street last week. I don't know what to say as far as, I'm not going to go into the gun thing or anything, but like, why are people, Stop shooting each other, everybody. Come on. It's not the Wild West out there. I thought about that this weekend, too. What are you going to do? All right, 250-6007. And you know what we're going to do? We're going to go over these. I'm excited about the elections, the city elections, and I love when the candidates come in here and we kind of we talk to them and we have a lot of fun with them. Glenn R.J. Willett has already been here, so don't sign up, Glenn. You can only come in once. And you've actually overstayed your welcome, Glenn. Already. All right. Let's see. Manchester Inklink. We have the, you know what? I'm going to try to get Carol on the line here now. Maybe we can do that. All right. We are, let's see, Monday morning. Got Carol on the line here. She's going to be surprised because I'm calling her early. I wonder if she's fat. I think she believes in that Don Tibbet stuff, too. She was reacting as it was happening on the radio. And she's not ready for me yet. That's all right, Carol. You just wait. We will be with you in just a minute. And this is what we're going to do. We are going to take a quick little break. I'll get Carol on the line, and we'll be right back. No, I had to turn the audio back up. Thank you, Bill Burke. I turned it down for the Marvin Gaye song because I didn't want Facebook to shut off.
Oh, yeah, I get that.
And that can be tricky.
Hi, Bill Burke.
Hey, did you know? What did you think about Friday? What do you?
Oh man.
What did you think about Friday's show?
Yeah, that really got me. You know, I'm always teetering on the edge of feeling like all that stuff is possible.
Right.
And as Miriam says, of course she could have done research and come up with a plan, but I just don't think people have that much time on their hands to,
Yeah,
research
and the connection, like why would yeah, and why would it be the Tibbetts family? You know what I mean? Other than T's on the show a couple times a year when he's home from Florida, or he calls in.
Yeah, but she'd have to be like a maniacal genius to actually come up with
to connect all the dots.
Because of who he was and his connection to that space and everything. Like, I think it just creates a whole bunch of new questions for me.
Oh yeah, it was. I think even Mike Doyle was.
Oh yeah, I think he was. He started off like skeptical,
right,
and he became less skeptical.
No, I thought it was. My mom even said the same thing. She's like, "Wow." Some people even guessed Don Tibbetts before we came up with. My mom had said, "Oh yeah, that's T's dad. Must be T's dad."
Me too. I mean, I started thinking it almost immediately, but as a reporter, I'm not going to blurt it out till I have a little more, facts or whatever. So I started researching him quickly while she was talking. I was really interested to see if he had a military connection because I didn't know about that, and I thought that was a pretty obvious thing to fact check to see. And sure enough, I found his obituary as it was still, the conversation was still going, and I said, "Oh my goodness." And that's about the same time that Don and Gary popped up to say my dad.
Yeah,
so,
they happened to both be listening. Gary said he turned on the phone right when she had said somebody is trying to come through.
Right.
Because Regina didn't come here to do that day. We were just going to talk about,
I know, and I was listening and I was thinking to myself like, oh, I wish somebody would ask her who's in the room, because I want to see how it works, or I want to see what she says. Like, I was curious about that, but I figured maybe you weren't going to do that. But it was so cool that he was like muscling his way, like he was forcing himself to be heard. Pretty cool.
Yeah, it was. Because I went back and I listened to it because it all happened in real time, and I think we were all. It was. I don't know. I was moved by the whole experience.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure nobody more so than Don and Gary Tibbetts.
I know, right? Well,
how would you feel if somebody, if your loved one went out of their way to say hi,
and to do it through the medium of radio was great. It was just a nice touch. It was a nice touch.
Yeah, and I started, asking a million more questions after that because I just had so many, but
But she did say he hangs around here, though. It wasn't like he hangs around here. If you go back and listen to it, yeah.
How's that? Well, and you and Mike, that was the other thing. You said you thought you saw someone.
I've already heard a couple things in the other room. I'm just going to assume he's in there right now, probably,
Yeah, well, you're going to have to just start talking.
And I'm here by myself right now, so it's even, a little even spookier.
Yeah, well, it shouldn't be spooky because he means you no harm.
No,
but really,
no, I know.
You can just talk to him out loud when, just say, "Hey, Don, I know you're here," and even though I can't pick up on it, or maybe you could if you tried really hard. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a different frequency.
Yeah, maybe you got to work on your frequency situation.
Maybe.
Need some crystals around your neck or something.
I don't know. Well, hey, if anyone's going to hang around here, I'm glad it's him. Because really, he's a local to me. He's just I told the story on Friday a little bit. The only time I ever really met him or saw him, where he spoke at an assembly back when I was in high school.
No kidding.
Yeah. And it was something to do with the union leader. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It was something to do with the union leader.
And was he was on the radio at that time?
No, this is when he was in his journalism, union leader career.
Okay.
So
I don't know which one.
Which was after the radio career.
Okay. All right.
Hey, I got a surprise for you, Carol.
Oh.
You ready?
Yes.
Let's welcome to the show Darryl the Dragon Dion.
Yay!
Yay! Good to be back.
Hey, Darryl, what's going on?
I actually got a decent night's sleep last night for the first time in a few weeks.
When did you get here?
I just dropped in. Yeah, listening to you guys talk about the Erie event on Friday, I had one of those tough nights where I got up at like 3, so I decided to watch the show from my bedroom. So I'm watching it, and I saw Regina come on with Chrissy, and the discussion began, and lo and behold, I fell asleep.
Yeah, you missed the whole thing.
I missed the whole thing. I woke up exactly when it ended. Unbelievable. Very poor timing.
Well, luckily it plays like 4 other times.
Yeah, which I did listen to.
Yeah, because we got the replay and then the Saturday megathon.
The megathon.
Yeah.
Now,
So
can I ask a question? Because Darryl, you've lost your beloved wife. I mean, how would you feel about, like, or do you even think about that? Like, would there be? I don't know. I'm not sure what I'm trying to ask you.
I think I know what you're trying to ask me, and my response would be no way, no how, never. Because in my life right now, she is very much still with me. So I don't need a medium to help that out.
Well, there you have it. Wow.
And even if I had, I'm not that guy. Although as skeptical as I was, I do believe something happened Friday, and it was quite amazing.
Yeah.
Because what I'm thinking is, like you say, she's with you, but what I see somebody like Regina as is sort of like a translator. Like if you're sitting in the room with somebody from Spain or whatever, they're there, but there's nothing you can do about it. You can't really have a conversation. It's
right.
like she's like, that's why they're called mediums, I guess, or they can channel that energy and let you know something. But that's the other part. I don't know what the purpose is. Like, what did he just want them to know that, yeah, I know what's going on. I'm aware, and I'm okay, and you're going to be okay, and everybody's going to be okay. This is how there really is more to this life than the earthly life or whatever. Like, I'm curious.
I don't know how much you can draw from that either. That's the hard part. I mean, I think we all recognize that something happened, but how, why, and where, just all the other questions are, we can't answer that.
Right.
Yeah, it's just all, at that point, it's just all guessing.
Yeah. Pretty serious stuff, though.
I feel like if I could be in a room with, like, my dad, my mom, my mother-in-law, my father-in-law, like all the people, my BFF that died a long time ago, like I feel like it'd be interesting, but I'm not sure if they would have advice for me, or if they would would it just be like that episode of or that scene from Ghost where Whoopi Goldberg is like surrounded by people, and you know what I mean? It's like,
I get sucked into that movie sometimes if I'm flipping the channels and it's a good ghost scene. I like that. I like that era of Demi Moore.
Yeah, that was a good time.
And of course, Patrick Swayze, of course.
Anyway, I feel like it was really an interesting radio experience for sure.
Certainly was.
And if nothing else, yeah, just kind of cool, just kind of something we hadn't done before, really.
Right.
I think
as a group,
it's so unique, and so different, and that had to draw some people in as well because it was so unbelievable.
Yeah, and it wasn't it wasn't even planned. We knew that she was coming on as a guest, but Yeah, it was. I'm still, I hate to use the word freaked out by it, but it's something that I had never experienced. Why is my chair squeaking like a
WD-40 man? Come on.
I got some too. I'm gonna take. Yeah, do you hear that crackling around?
I sure do.
Can you hear that too?
I can't. No, I can't hear it.
Okay,
It's an in-studio disturbance.
right.
It's not translating. Yeah.
I did, interestingly enough, getting away from the subject just briefly. The only issues I've had over this whole, healing process and getting back to normalcy is the sleep. Sleep has been disturbingly difficult.
Yeah.
I've been waking up from 3 in the morning, 3:30.
What do you do at 3:30, 4 in the morning?
Well, I put on Sports Center and make a coffee, have a water. I just go through my general routine, but about 9 o'clock, I'm back in the sack because I'm wiped out because I was up so early.
Right.
But I think I may have touched on why this is happening. I decided over this period to quit smoking.
Okay.
And I started smoking in 1965. So as it turns out, that's a lot of years. And I've quit over those years from time to time, but never forever.
Right.
And this is forever. And I think it just might be a kind of a withdrawal scenario.
Oh, wow. Okay, yeah.
And that would make sense. I mean, I haven't had any real physicality of the withdrawal.
Right.
In other words, I feel pretty good. I've never ever felt the need to have a cigarette. I just wanted to have one. So the fact that I quit, it's, the mind over matter deal.
Right.
And I think that might be playing into it a little bit.
You weren't a public smoker either. Nobody would even know you were a smoker.
No, I was a weekend warrior type guy.
A weekend warrior.
And I generally smoked only at nighttime, in the confines of my home. And I wasn't a big smoker either. I think the most I ever smoked was maybe a pack and a half a day, maybe.
Right.
Or a pack and a half a week.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
And I hope you get some sleep sometime soon.
Well, I think that the fact that I've maybe figured it out, that might help me get past it.
Okay.
I think. I don't know.
So welcome back anyway, by the way. You're
Great to be back.
Yeah. You cabin fever? Are you getting cabin fever?
Just a little.
Yeah. See?
Because I can't get around. Thank God for Samantha and Benjamin. They've been terrific. My best friend Dick has come over from time to time to give me that shower that is definitely required.
Right. That's hilarious.
And I can't ask Ben to do it because it's disturbing.
Right.
Way too disturbing for any father to ask a son to observe him in the raw.
Right.
Yike. That's too nasty.
Yeah.
But Dick's great.
You spared Ben a little humiliation. That's okay.
Absolutely. That's what I'm here for, And Dick, I've known Dick for 40 years, so, we got a lot of history, and he had no problem. It actually has been quite amusing. He abuses me somewhat, but it's been quite fun. It's been great.
Really? So, okay. Well, I don't want to. Okay.
Yeah, let's not get into it.
Yeah, because I was going to try to get into it, and I'm like, well.
No.
And then I said no.
And it's fairly quick. We don't fool around.
Well, I hope you don't fool around.
No. I didn't mean to say. Oh, that came out definitely wrong.
Well,
we couldn't be more straight. Just to get that out there, folks.
I don't even know what that means. But
Yeah.
hey.
We don't like to talk about
it. There was a lot of stuff that happened over the weekend, none of which I participated in, and I have to give a huge shout out to Stephen Philbrook for trying really hard to get me to participate in the world this weekend. I just had too many things going on, and he tried to get me to go to the Twilight at the Courier.
Ben actually made it there. Ben went.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I know. Stefan told me there was like a posse asking about me, so that made me feel even worse.
Yeah, he said it was brutally hot, though. Really, really hot.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I just got, sometimes I was trying to, I didn't really go deep, but I was trying to explain, like, sometimes I get onto something, like I'm researching something for a story, like information. In this case, I was looking at FBI statistics or whatever. I just get so deep into it, it's like if I step away from it, I lose my focus. So I have to kind of just stick with it for as long as I can. And by the time I finished doing that, most of the day was behind me, and I really had so much else to do, because I have a home and a life, right? I had things I had to tend to, and it was so hot and oppressive. I just jumped in the pool, like, to revive myself a little, and I just couldn't bring myself to go out in the world. I should have. I regret it, but
Right.
didn't do it.
I mean, it was brutally hot out, though.
Yeah.
And your hair is already curly, so I can imagine what happens. I can imagine.
You can only imagine.
Right. It's probably, yeah.
You must go
It's
nuts.
somewhere, it goes well beyond curly to some like sort of afro situation.
Right.
Yeah, which is not pleasant for me to have to deal with that. So
I remember you guys talking about that last weekend. I actually remembered when Kathy and I first married, I decided to change my do, and I got a, the curls.
You got a perm?
I got a perm.
You did?
Jerry curl.
It didn't last long, I tell you.
Right.
I was absolutely weirded out over it.
Well, yeah, because
Absolutely.
yeah. It's not right.
No.
It wasn't right.
There was nothing right about it.
And
but I tried it.
And the thing
Gave
is,
a
it
shot.
wasn't even a gender thing. Men did it,
no.
women did it, everybody did it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody had that fro, and yeah,
What's that, right around
I mean,
1977, right around that time?
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, mine was towards later on, maybe 79, 80.
Right. You were a little late to the party?
Well, I've always been late to the party.
that was the period of time where we had unisex clothing. If you remember that, were you hip to that? Like there were stores at the mall that sold clothing that like you could get the same outfit as your boyfriend. Like there were clothes that were so hip and cool in the 70s, but yet they didn't really scream male or female. They're called unisex.
Yeah, I don't think I shopped there.
Yeah, I remember it. I stayed far away from it.
It wasn't just one kind of store, but the idea was really, it's funny when you think about how long ago that was and where we are today with, transgender and thinking about, the sort of the rainbow of people that we are. But back then, it was really a time of, you could dress the same as your significant other, or there were fewer boundaries around how we dressed and expressed our gender. If
We've
you
come
will.
a long way, baby.
I mean, in the 60s, it was pretty clear, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like girls wore dopey dresses and like Sandra Dee or whatever, and dudes wore rolled up T-shirts with jeans or whatever. But by the 70s, everybody was wearing similar, like you could go out in overalls and
The polyester generation.
Oh,
The polyester generation.
yeah, the polyester generation. Jim had some really badass shirts. I wish he still had them.
Right.
and
Yeah.
you're right, Carol. They were badass.
Yeah, I'm talking like silk shirts like that.
Yeah.
That
wide
feel cool.
lapels.
That feel cool to the skin.
Yeah, he had some ones that I loved so much, but they were like amazing.
A lot
They
of
were, like,
weird flower prints on shirts too back then.
But yeah, you could even like it was so extreme, like the unisex look, right? You could be like behind two people, a dude and a lady, and they'd have the same exact hair, like curly perm, and a similar silky shirt, and bell-bottom jeans and platform shoes. It would be difficult to know which was which from just looking, without seeing their faces.
Right.
And even then, sometimes,
You betcha. Yeah,
it's just a different time.
sure was. That was and that's when disco was big.
Right.
The Bee Gees just tore it all up. It was unbelievable. I had the platform shoes, the wide lapel shirts.
You did.
Oh, absolutely.
Did you have a
I went
suit?
for
Did
it.
you go out? Did you go out in a nice suit?
I was staying alive, man.
Really?
It was a short-lived, but it was pretty fun. It was pretty just before I met Kat.
Did you dance? That's probably how you got the girl. Walking around, strutting around to staying alive.
No.
It's funny. I just Googled unisex just to get some examples. And
Oh boy.
did you know there's actually an exhibition at the Museum of Fine Arts in Boston
Really?
on unisex clothing?
I just saw it.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I was there about a month ago. I went with Samantha.
Did you go into the unisex exhibit?
Actually, we walked in and walked out. It was pretty quick.
Okay.
Disturbing, but
Well, what's disturbing? Like
just
what kind of clothes? Like, is it just
different,
right?
Bedazzled.
Okay.
It's just pretty wild. I wasn't that wild guy.
I never had a bedazzler. That was a little bit before my time. Did you have a bedazzler, Carol? Something tells me you did.
I did not, but I think my daughter did. I think it was like after my time, but before, she was
Right.
like, I think my oldest child probably bedazzled things. I think I bought my sister a bedazzled denim jacket once for her birthday, which pretty sure she hated it,
Right.
but I thought it was cool.
Be funny if she still had it.
Oh, I'm sure she doesn't. No. She politely gave it away quietly under the cover of darkness, so it wouldn't hurt my feelings, probably.
I love the sounds of the birds that are coming from your end of the.
Oh, you can hear that?
Hey,
I can.
absolutely. It's great.
I can. It's like behind me, like my window's open. That's it. You'd think I was sitting out. Oh, it is pretty loud, isn't it?
Yeah, it's nice.
They're happy. Those birds are happy today because it's not so hot.
Right. Might even have a few showers today.
Yeah, I think this afternoon. Yeah.
Mm.
So it looks like the elections are coming up, and the deadline has closed.
Yeah, did we talk about? No, we didn't, because that was like that ended Friday.
Let's go over you want to go over the final list?
Yeah, let's do that.
All right. We will do that for you.
Oh, some final list of music.
Well, yes.
Right.
So the municipal elections. Now let me ask you this, Carol: is it true there is in the race for alderman and school board in all the wards there is a primary?
Yes, there's. Yes, I think that's absolutely true. We had on I think it was as late as Friday. Yep, the last day, a guy named Michael Farley signed up for Ward 8 alderman to challenge Michael Porter. And so that was the only ward where there wasn't an opponent.
Okay.
And I'm pretty positive that I'm scanning the list now, but I'm pretty positive that we have school committee matchups in every ward too. So it's. I mean, I asked the clerk and I didn't get a response because I think it was after hours, but all in all, it seems like there was a big list of people who want to be on the ballot, like all the way across the board. I mean, the big one is that school committee. Like that's an incredible list. I don't know if you got a chance to look at it.
Yeah.
There might be 30 plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25,
Just for the.
There's like 38 names on that list, and only 9
38?
people can be on.
Wow.
Yeah, something like that.
Wow.
I mean, it's give or take. I counted too fast there, but
Right,
I mean,
but-
if you read the list, you have Pat Long, Tim Baines, Jimmy LaHoo, Ross Terrio, Lou D'Alessandro, Glenn R.J. Willett, Gary Hamer, sorry. I always want to say Hammer for some reason. Kathy Sullivan, Andre Rosa, who's also running for alderman, Amy Allen, assistant principal,
Right.
Will Infantine,
Infantine.
John
Will
Clayton,
Infantine.
Will Infantine, John Clayton, John Hopwood, Ben Dion,
No,
Lisa
John
Freeman.
Claude. Hopwood.
Jean-Claude
John
Hopwood.
Joe LaChance, Carla Garicki, Sarah Ambrosi, and Robert Ambrosi, and a bunch of other people whose names I skipped because I don't know them as well. But just those names alone, they're
Hell of a
all
list.
people who run for office, who've held
Right.
office, who are holding office. They're significant or who ruled the world like John Clayton. But I mean, all those people want to be on the school charter commission, which to me is incredible. Some obvious omissions or lack. It looks like Rich Gerard decided not to run, so he's not on the ballot this time around.
Thank you.
So he'll be stepping down from his post as school committee at large.
Yeah. Is that a surprise to anybody?
I wasn't thinking. To be
I wasn't really
honest,
thinking
I
about
wasn't
it either.
Thinking about Rich Gerard one way or the other. but I think he, put out a very long and very drawn out, I'm not running again thing, which he could have wrapped up in one sentence.
Right.
That's
went
who he
on
is,
and on.
though. That's who he is.
Yeah, but that's when it occurred to me that he wasn't running, which is fine because there's 6 people already on the ballot. We have, one of my favorite ones was Jim O'Connell, who went up to Concord in the morning and became a U.S. citizen after 27 years of living here as a Irish national, or whatever the correct phrase would be to put it in.
Congratulations to Jim O'Connell, by the way.
Yeah.
That's quite the...
Awesome.
Right, very good.
It reminds me of like when you ask, a guy after they win the Super Bowl, what are you going to do now? And they say, I'm going to go to Disneyland, or whatever that whole, Disney shtick is.
He doesn't have
And
the
it's
accent. He doesn't even have the accent anymore.
No, it went away.
Yep,
But
went
he
right away.
became a U.S. citizen, and the first order of business was to get on the ballot, to run for office, to participate in democracy, and I thought that was pretty cool.
That's awesome.
He did give me a heads up about that, so I was able to write a little story, just to kind of, mark that occasion.
Sure, I think that's
pretty interesting.
Yeah, it is interesting.
And as we already knew, John Hopwood is on the ballot for alderman at large,
John
along with
Claude.
John Claude Hop, along with 5
Right.
other 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 names on that ballot. So we got Levasseur, Infantine. Why can't I get that straight?
No, you got it right.
Dana-
You got it right.
DeRochers, Katie DeRochers.
Oh, this is
Hopwood.
for alderman at large.
Yeah, and Kathleen Farley, who I don't know. You guys might know who that is, but I don't know who that is. But it would be cool to see more ladies. Let's see,
You
alderman.
might see a change. You might see some of these races change, in both the school board and the alderman race, I guess, right? I mean,
There's
anything
a lot
can
of
anything can
potential.
happen.
Yep, there's a lot of potential for change, all the way around, and I'm just scanning the list because I hadn't thought about this, but we don't have a lot of ladies in the race. In fact, alderman, we have Elizabeth Moreau in Ward 6. We have, as I said, Katie DeRochers wants to be at large, but then we don't have any females.
Right.
Other than let's see, I think there's
Well, you got Brenda
obviously,
Noisois, who's running.
yes, and Barbara Shaw, and I think that's could
Right.
be it, which is fine. I just, I think it was 2 years ago I did a story. There was like 6 ladies on the ballot, and I thought that was kind of cool, and the potential to have more ladies leading the charge. But unfortunately, they didn't come out in force to run for alderman this time around. That's okay. So yeah.
Well, it should be interesting.
It's definitely going to be interesting. So candidates, if you haven't already, we do have a sign-up form at the bottom of our post. That's called the final list, and
The
at the very
final
bottom,
list.
like finalists. You can sign up with your name and your email address and your contact phone number so that we can start working on our voters guide. Get some good out there to the voters. But yeah, so
Yeah,
there's a rush to the end.
this is right around the corner. Believe it or not, the primary will be. You got to get through the rest of July and August, and then boom,
September.
Yeah,
it's in September, and then the big one.
that's right.
But it should be interesting to see how things change, how the balance of power, so to speak, changes, and how that affects everything else. Plus, we have a new superintendent who'll be officially in place
That's
for the new
right.
school year.
Carol, have you interviewed him yet?
No, but I have a reporter working on that. So
Okay, good.
Yeah, who is this guy? Right. Hey, speaking of screwing you up over the weekend, did anyone watch WMUR News in the morning? Who's the weather guy? this weekend.
It came out of nowhere.
You remember when I was talking a couple weeks ago and I said, well, when you're so used to watching this WM, the newscast, and you almost think, all right, well, there's Sean McDonald, like when you see someone new, you're like, who's this guy?
What happened to Josh Judge?
Right. Well, Josh is taking some time off. I think he's going to be back on this weekend, and then he does other stuff.
Oh, okay.
Well, by the looks of it, Haley LaPointe's ready to blow.
Oh,
so
absolutely.
Yeah, I
Any
don't
second.
know. I felt
Any
like,
second.
especially
Really?
with the weather, I think she should. I mean, I noticed she was wearing her flat shoes. That's very important at this stage of the pregnancy because you don't want to bobble and fall.
You got
But,
that right.
Especially with the heat too. It's like you can get that. You can get swelling in your legs and ankles, which is bad, or eclampsia, which is really serious. So I feel like she needs to put her feet up more. She shouldn't be worried about the weather right now.
The guy that did the weather this weekend did a great job and everything, but it's almost like,
Yeah, they just threw him in there
Right.
with no warning,
They
right?
screwed you all up.
They need to do that, yeah. I mean, that they have that new female anchor at night. I don't know her name because I don't watch it often enough. I'm
Right.
bad with me. Obviously, I can't even get Will Inventine straight. But she's like got dark hair, and I don't know her name, but I don't know where she came from.
Yeah, no,
I don't know.
who does she take place of? Like where is
Well, who used to be on at night, like Jennifer?
is Jennifer Vaughn gone?
She's out hawking her book right now.
Well,
from what I
right.
can see. She has a book out, but I don't know if she was, if she's on hiatus, if sabbatical, whatever.
Right.
I
Well,
don't
where's
know.
Jean Mackin? Is she
Jean
around?
Mackin, she's usually out on, like, they have her standing in front of some building in the rain.
Oh,
Usually,
okay.
it's kind of like her beat, right?
Right.
Hey, it's
right.
raining. Send out Jean Mackin. She looks cute in a
I
rain
mean,
hat.
I'm still getting used to Mike Cherry here, who came on the afternoon news probably a year ago or something, right? And then you're like, who's this guy? Who's he think he is?
It's part of our being to resist change. Nobody
Right.
likes change.
Maybe that's it.
I think that's it.
Maybe that's it. I mean, could it kill Mike Haddad to come in on the weekend once in a while, to relieve some of the other guys? Come on, Mike. All right, I'm done with my Channel 9. But great job, whatever your name was this weekend on the weather. What was his name?
New Weather Dude.
Yeah.
I call him New Weather Dude. Someone knows this name. Somebody in the Facebook Live room. Is
Yeah,
complaining.
I was going to write it down. I never did because last week Chris Jarzinka was on, formerly Chris Thomas, who used to do the morning news years ago. And now he just kind
Did
of...
he get married or something? Like, why did he change
No,
his
that
name?
was a state... Back then, they wanted... He couldn't have his name, Chris Jarzinka. Whoever the news director was said, you got to come up with something better than Jarzinka. No, that's a true
Wow.
story. They would
Really?
change it. Yeah, some of those names aren't. Now I think it's okay to have your regular name, but that was I guess stage name for being a weather guy. So now because on his Facebook page it says Chris Jarzinka, AKA Chris Thomas, weather guy.
I saw
His
him.
middle name's probably Thomas.
Well, maybe it could be.
Could be. Hey, he's sporting a beard now as well.
Yes, yeah. He's been on for a long time.
Yeah.
Since the 90s. But he's not a regular anymore. He's not a...
And I know this is irrational, but he always kind of reminded me of Max Headroom. I know you probably don't see it, but something about his face or his delivery or something always reminded me of Max Headroom, and I can't explain it.
Interesting.
Okay, I have it was Russ Murley was the
All right.
was the weather dude over the weekend. Thank you, James Francis, in the Facebook Live room. Russ Murley, I guess he's on Channel 8 in Maine, so they must have loaned him out for Channel 9 this weekend.
Just
Probably could be because it's
head down
another.
to New Hampshire.
Yeah, because it's probably Hearst Television or something. They said, Russ,
An affiliate.
can you go down to Manchester for the weekend?
help those guys out.
Right, we'll put you up in the DoubleTree. Russ probably had a great time this weekend in Manchester. Good morning to Von Humboldt. Good morning and welcome to the show. Michael Hennessy, good
Hi,
morning
Von.
to you. Yeah, Von Humboldt.
Yeah, it's just fun to be able to say that every day.
Yes, it is.
It is.
Now, see,
Good
and
name.
if that's not, see, if I was a weather guy and I had to change my name, I might take that name. All right, and here's Von Humboldt with the weather.
Great name.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Right.
Yeah, I don't have a good stage name. I would need
Chief
to explain
Meteorologist Von Humboldt is here.
You gotta love it.
Took him a minute to get that joke. All right, so yeah, is that all we got today, Carol?
Pretty much. I mean, what else? Maybe there's.
I got some
something going
catching
on
up.
in this.
I got some catching up to do with Darryl here.
Yeah, that's very true. That's very true.
It's been a long and winding road. And
Did speaking of which, did anybody see that movie yet besides me yesterday?
No, I didn't see it. I don't know if I will.
How'd you like it, Carol?
Why, Peter? Peter, why not?
Maybe I will. I don't know.
Chock full of Beatles tunes.
Right. It's all Beatles songs, right? I do like maybe I will. Maybe I will see it.
It's not just it's really not about the Beatles.
Right. It's
It's really not about the Beatles. It's like one of those sort of like it's a little bit of a sci-fi /
right.
fantasy.
A fantasy, yes.
Yeah.
A sci-fi fantasy.
I would think that you would like that kind of movie.
Maybe I know. I might. Maybe no. Is it? Can I watch it on demand yet, or do I have to go to the theater still?
Oh, you have a thing about spending a lot of money on a movie?
No, I don't know. I'm just
Yes, he
wondering
does.
if I could pull it right up on the old television in the comfort of my own home.
That just came out, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it'll be a few weeks, perhaps.
Right. It comes right out, right? As soon as it leaves the theater, it comes out on whatever.
Doesn't take long anymore.
Back in the day, though, say Rocky 3 came out, it wouldn't be on HBO for like another year and a half.
Sometimes
I know.
that long.
That's
Sure,
very
sure.
true.
Nowadays, it just comes fast.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of movies out right now that I'm kind of interested in seeing, but I can't actually tell you what they are off the top of my head. But every time I go to the movies and I see a bunch of previews, I'm like, yeah, gonna see that movie. I should make a list. Seems like it's been a pretty good summer for movies.
Yeah, I think so. Do people still go to the movie?
Lion King. Yeah.
Yeah,
sure
Samantha
they do.
saw it last night. I
Oh,
haven't
boy.
spoken with her yet to see how she liked it, but yeah, she saw it last night.
I don't know. I don't know if I can sit through The Lion King.
I can sit through almost any movie.
Oh.
There's no movie I couldn't. Well, I don't know. I take that.
I mean,
back.
you know
If
the
it's super-
story too already,
If it's super violent,
right? Do you
or-
know the story of The Lion King? So why, I don't know. Why do you have to go see the new
Well,
version?
because it's like that. It's like it's supposed to feel like live action. So like, it was like when I saw the Jungle Book. I'd seen that movie with my kids. The Disney version or whatever. But the live action version was really
I'm sorry.
charming, and it was great. And they changed the storyline a little bit, but you really believed that these animals were real, and it was good.
I'm a real fun sucker. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, I still think it's fun to. It's just kind of cool to experience it. It really does. Some of these movie effects really are amazing. What they can achieve in
Well, Von Humboldt
nowadays and technology and all that.
Yeah, Von Humboldt says he heard it's the one to watch in the theater. Of course, you're
There
going to
you
say
go.
that, Von Humboldt. Yeah, I think he has a young daughter.
Well, because of the way that it's,
Well, it's
produced
CGI though,
and-
right? It's CGI.
No, they really for real got a lion to play that part.
Right. I know. No, I said it's. Oh, okay. No,
That's beautiful,
Sorry.
Carol. Beautiful. I
No.
love it.
I'm sorry. Thank you.
I wasn't. I know, but no, it's fine.
CGI.
But it is CGI, right? It's not. It's not a guy
Yes.
in a lion costume. Two guys in a lion
No.
costume,
No,
right?
no, 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 no.
No, it's CGI, Peter.
Wow.
And there's some famous.
The whole Wizard of Oz situation. That's like from the 30s.
R-
He dressed
okay.
a guy up in a lion costume and tried to get people to believe it.
That was a real lion skin too, I guess, in the Wizard of Oz.
Oh man, yeah, you can't get away with that anymore.
No.
You can't.
No,
Oh,
no,
man.
PETA would be on that in no time flat.
All right. Well, anything else? You got anything else for us, Carol? Before we let you go.
Well, not I mean, nothing too stirring. There's going to be a master plan meeting on July 24th, which every 10 years the city has a master plan session, and so this one will let me see, July 23rd or July 24th, a community meeting. Okay, so it's a 3-day situation, but on 24th there's a community aspect to the session, 6 to 7:30 p.m. at City Hall. People can come and get an overview and share ideas about the long-term vision for Manchester. And so that's happening. And I did get a notice from Alderman Tim Baines about an event coming up on, Thursday, 6 o'clock, to discuss the traffic
Spit it out,
situation.
Carol. Go ahead.
I know. I'm sorry. I wasn't prepared, so I didn't get to blurt it out properly. But this is about the traffic patterns at Pine and Chestnut Street, I guess.
Pine and Chestnut. Okay. Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's a pilot project in Ward 2. They were talking about to make the streets safer. That there's permanent changes to that. The one way on Maple having a bike lane, and
right.
Then I guess it affects. See, this is where I'm
It
not
affects
sure.
the traffic pattern on Bridge. I mean on.
If they're going to do it on Maple, Tim Baines, please call in.
Well,
and
Pine and
clarify.
Chestnut are perpendicular to each. I mean, parallel to each other.
Parallel. So maybe they're talking about making a bike lane there too. Then I don't know.
Anything to slow things down.
Right.
Right. They are worried about the traffic patterns there, but I don't know. Let me see. I'm sorry. I should know better.
You should know better by now.
Okay. So they're talking about restriping Beach, Pine, and Chestnut between Webster and Bridge to create a single lane and a bicycle lane when future paving projects occur. So they want to repeat the pattern
On
of
so that Maple Street project that seems to be working.
Well, I mean, so there's the controversy, right? When they talked about the results there, I think there was one accident or something, and maybe the overall speed was reduced by a couple of miles per hour, but overall the people that showed up to the meeting or feedback was positive, so they're going to call that a win and say, we're going to build bicycle lanes. Now, of course, there's a lot of negative Nancys out there who including John Hopwood, who spoke out about it on one of the Facebook pages, saying, this is ridiculous to have a bicycle lane for, what is this fancy pants North End neighborhood now? They have to have a bike lane,
Right?
And Alderman Will Stewart in Ward 2 is sort of driving that bus, or driving that bike, so to speak. He's kind of initiated it and championed it. He's a big bike enthusiast. He's part of Bike Manchester.
Right.
I don't really see I don't really see why anybody would say, like, we don't need a bicycle lanes in a city like Manchester. We have downtown bicycles. I see that they're being used. My husband's a bicycle commuter, so I'm in favor of bike safety measures. I just don't know what the pros and cons are to say, like,
Right.
do we need bike lanes everywhere? I don't know. So I guess if you're like me and you don't really know what the answer is, show up to this meeting so we can talk it out, hug it out if we have to.
All
July
right.
25th. Yeah, July 25th at City Hall, 6 o'clock.
I'm sure there'll be 4 people there.
Maybe 5.
Well, right now there's 6 people going.
Okay.
according to the Facebook.
All right.
So that's something.
Sure is. Great day in the summer to have that.
Yeah.
All right, Carol. Well, listen, we're gonna move on, but thank you again, and we will do it.
I get it.
Well, what do you mean you get it?
I mean, I'm not Eric Gagnon. Like, I can't, like, take over the show.
Right,
Just
right.
kidding.
No, I
Yeah,
know.
and speaking of Eric, I guess we still haven't really had any
There's
any
been-
communication direct from him, huh?
No, and the last sighting was at Market Basket by Joe Lar over a week ago.
So his health is okay?
We don't know now. He's
I don't know anything.
we don't know anything.
He's given us the silent treatment.
Yeah.
Apparently. Oh, I want to tell you, for one, Carol, I'm very happy to hear your voice again.
Well, that's nice. I mean, it's,
I missed that.
it's not the greatest voice. I've heard it on radio before. It's not really that great a voice for radio. It's not like I'm no Peter White. Let's put it that way.
Well, you're already 7 minutes over your limit here.
I know.
Here comes the abuse. Here comes the abuse.
I'm not only 7 minutes over my limit, but I started early.
Right.
Wow.
All right.
I know.
That's true. You
Yeah.
did. I called you early today.
Yeah, you called me early today, so I am really taking over the show, I guess.
I
Yeah.
got to tell you that Marvin Gaye lead-in was awesome.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't hear. What was it? What song did you play?
What's going on? No, what's going on? I think, right?
What's going on?
I love that.
Oh, it's beautiful. I love it.
It's great.
Still relevant to today.
Absolutely.
It's an important song.
All right,
All
Carol.
right, well, please hang up on me, because I'll never shut up today, I guess.
Okay, well, listen, we'll talk to you tomorrow.
All right.
Bye, Carol.
Bye, Carol. Thank you so much.
Welcome back, Carol. Yep.
All right, that's Carol Robideau, Manchester Inklink, where everything in Manchester connects. You can find out what's going on around town at manchesterinklink.com.
The morning show is sponsored by CGI Business Solutions, located at 171 Londonderry Turnpike in Hooksett. They serve all your big and small business needs: employee benefits planning, corporate design and business administration, investments and wealth management, customized business insurance solutions. Their phone number is 866-841-4600. On the web at cgibusinesssolutions.com.
Hi, I'm former Mayor Bob Baines, and I'm here to tell you about Manchester Proud, a community movement to make our schools the best for our kids and our future. Manchester's economic vitality depends on the success of our public schools.
Hi, I'm former Mayor Cyril Dupuis. Education is the foundation of our community and one of our most important responsibilities. Many great and exciting things are happening in our schools, but we need to do better.
I am former Mayor Ray Wazorek. The future of our city depends on every child getting support and finding a pathway to a successful future. With exceptional schools, our community will excel.
I'm former Mayor Ted Gatsis. Our schools are directly linked to the safety of our neighborhoods and the vitality of our great city.
We are Manchester Proud.
Please join us in supporting Manchester Proud, for our students, for everyone who proudly calls Manchester home. Sign up to become a Manchester Proud champion by visiting manchesterproud.org.
You're listening to Peter White. Call us at 250-6007. It's the morning show.
WMNH 95.3 FM. Good morning, Manchester.
Good morning, Peter.
Oh, good morning, everyone. It's the morning show coming at you once again live from downtown Manchester. What do we got for a temp outside here, Darryl?
I'm going to say mid-70s.
Yes, it is 76 degrees right here on Elm Street. All right, we're welcoming back Darryl the Dragon Dion is here. We're very excited to have you.
I'm very excited to be back.
So, how many weeks has it been? It feels like you've been gone a long time.
Seems like forever. Let me see.
It's only been a few 3 weeks, maybe?
Surgery was the 26th of June.
All right.
And I did the show, I think, the Tuesday before, as I recall.
Yeah, right, you did.
And by that, after surgery, I got out of the hospital that Thursday, and I stopped all medication that Saturday. So I've been pretty much drug-free since for about a month.
Oh, wow.
And I feel great.
Right, you're just letting that shoulder heal.
Yep. I'm doing my exercises. I got another appointment August 9th, and the exercise changes. It's going to be more of a stretching exercise going upwards. That should be interesting.
Right. You haven't done you haven't raised your
No, it's all the pendulum motion.
Right.
And as it turns out, and I wasn't, I'm not a doctor, so I didn't know this, but bone has to encircle the new equipment I have in my shoulder.
Really?
So that's what's happening right now.
Really?
I feel great. It's going to be awesome.
Right. So the bone. Okay. That's wow.
Yeah. Surgically, it went great. August. I did some little research this morning, and from August 9th, the next 6 weeks is going to be that stretching exercise.
Right.
So I can take off the sling if I'm home.
Okay. Now, have you taken off the sling?
Just to do exercise and to shower.
Okay.
All day long, I have it on. You got to have it, because it's just in the healing process.
Right.
So after that, after August 9th, I can take it off in the house, but if I go out, I have to wear it.
All right.
So I got another 6 weeks of that. So what I'm unclear about, and I'll find out August 9th, is if I can try to drive. Driving could be tricky, I think.
I'm sorry, Darryl. I'm just thinking about what Stephen Philbrook wrote in the Facebook Live room this morning.
And what was that?
He said the Maple Street meetings were well attended over at for the bike lanes, which is great. But then he throws in a dig at yours truly.
Uh-oh.
Right. Peter wouldn't know. He doesn't go anywhere except the studio and home.
You'd keep your mouth shut if you knew it was good for you, buddy.
Wow. I don't know. I didn't go to the Maple Street meeting. I'm sorry. I didn't know. You probably cried there anyway, Stefan. Who wants to go and see you cry everywhere?
Easy.
You'd keep your mouth shut if you knew it was good for you, buddy.
I love Stefan.
He's great.
Even though he cries sometimes. And that's okay. He's a sensitive guy. But anyway, sorry I got sidetracked with that, Darryl.
That's okay. I can't get over the number of people going to on that school charter thing.
Yeah, there's
38.
Yeah, over 30,
That's
right?
disturbing.
30. Yeah,
We got to sneak Ben in. We got to sneak. Ben's got to be in the top
there.
9.
Ben's in there.
He's got to be in the top
You got
9.
some heavy hitters over there too.
Absolutely.
Big Lou D.
John Clayton. Are you kidding?
Right. Well, I mean, of course he throws his hat in there. Now, does John even know?
I think we need some new blood.
Right. Now, is there a school charter commission now?
I'm going to guess no.
Right. So this is something new.
Right. There was one.
Okay.
And then now, I'm not sure what's happened from the time there was one till now.
So basically okay. So the Charter Commission basically writes makes the policies and...
Or at least attempts to.
Right.
Right. So I think we need some new
This
blood.
makes things more complicated, right?
Exactly.
Right. The more complicated things can be, the better.
Yike.
Seems like that's how things work sometimes.
I like less complicated.
Me too. This has been a really less complicated morning here this morning. I'm telling you. But I was, like I told you, I was still, we have Gary Tibbetts tuning in. Good morning, Gary. He wanted to thank Regina Rivard again for dropping by on Friday.
How did they feel after that event?
I talked to Tibbetts, I talked to T that night, and when I called, he goes, "I can't talk right now, Pete. I'm watching the show." And he was showing his wife. And then he called me back after, and they were just amazed. Like he was,
Did he get emotional?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
He got emotional on the show. Like they both called, they both listened.
It was something else.
Really something.
Well, that hit home, obviously.
Yeah, Gary says, still thinking about last week's show. I have to thank Regina Rivard and everyone again.
So the intent was not for it to happen, and it just happened.
Right. Oof. But if you go back and listen to it, it'll say, she says, he hangs around here once in a while. Which is great.
Oh, yeah.
To use, for a guy like that, a legend in local broadcasting.
Most definitely a legend.
And to be hanging around here and use the medium of radio to, talk to his family.
Do you think the fact you had the tapes was critical in this happening?
I've had him I've had him since right about the holidays.
Right, but you never had Regina.
No, and they're right here.
I think her presence got them out.
Well, I think how these came about, because Gary sent them to me, but Ed Bruder, who's another legendary broadcaster,
absolutely,
he got a lot of these Don Tibbetts CDs, like these broadcasts, together, and gave it to Gary for the family. And then I digitized them, and we play them. I played some on Sunday.
Do you still play them on Sunday?
Yeah, I don't play them all the time because there's not a ton of them. So I like to do it a couple times a year. I wanted to do the Christmas in July from Camp Allen, 1965 or whatever. That's
a good one.
Yeah. There was one I played. There's one basketball game that we have, and I played it this Sunday. It was the final game.
Class L?
Yeah, a final Class L championship, Central versus Milford. And there's
we all know Central won. I mean, really.
Well, I don't know what happened that year. Someone might know. One of our sports listeners might.
Really, Central over Milford. Come
on. I know, but
no
it might have been a
contest.
strange year. I think we've talked about this before.
Really?
Yes, and I think I didn't listen to the whole thing, but it's really, really cool because Don Tibbetts is the one that does the play-by-play.
Right.
And there's a couple of great commercials in there too. One for Buy Right. Right.
Blast from the past.
Buy Right. Now that's a good one. Did you shop at? Now Buy Right was a catalog showroom.
I think we might have done a little shopping there.
Right. It was kind of like
mom.
It was Buy Right before it was Service Merchandise.
Right.
That makes sense, right?
That whole catalog scene.
Sorry, Stefan. He's not talking to me now. Not a word out of him. That's all right. But yeah. So the central game that was now that's something to listen to. I mean, because I think it was the early '60s. Sometime I don't know what the
65 was it 65?
Maybe that's way before my time. My mother was still in high school in '65, I think.
Right. I'm trying to think of what Central players may have been involved with that.
I got to sneeze.
Maybe
Whoa.
Stan Spiro, maybe?
Yeah, I don't know.
I forget. I was a Bishop Bradley guy, so.
Right, you didn't pay attention to that. You were.
I was a Bishop Bradley guy.
Right. Now, okay, wait a second. You say it like the Bishop Bradley guys were better than everybody else.
At the time they were. Come on now.
Right.
They dominated Class L at the time.
What happened? Why did they end the name of that school, Bishop Bradley, and switch over to Trinity?
I don't know.
What happened there?
And what year did it happen? I think it happened 71.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay.
Because all of a sudden, yeah. So there had to be kids going to that school, and in the middle of their thing, like say they were freshman and sophomore, they went to Bradley, and then the last 2 years, it changed to Trinity,
and it became co-ed.
That's why when it changed.
Did it merge with Immaculata?
It must have.
Had to.
Right.
That makes sense. Because Immaculata closed at the same time.
Well, when you have girls and boys going to school in different, I don't know, isn't that kind of old school?
Well, kind of.
Really? I mean, do you? You know,
we can coexist.
Right. I think when I was in grammar school and I was real young, on the playground, we had a boys' side and we had a girls' side.
Yeah.
Which was stupid.
Yeah. They had that when I was growing up as well.
They separate the boys from the girls.
Yeah, because apparently we didn't play well together.
I don't know.
Apparently.
I always liked hanging with the ladies.
Absolutely.
Right, you know what I mean? And then it changed. Yeah, there was a boys' side and a girls' side. And then it went by grades. Like 3rd through 6th grade was on one side, and the younger kids were on the other one.
They split them up. Yep.
Right. 1971 was the big merge with Immaculata. And nobody looked back.
Nobody.
Right. Von Humboldt says, Carol Robineau, you are wonderful. And now Stefan Philbrook is not talking to me once again. I'm sorry, Stefan. Please.
You'd keep your mouth shut if you knew it was good for you, buddy.
Well, it is good to have you back, though. You didn't really, well, what did you miss? Did you miss anything? No, but we are missing Easy G. We have not seen
Pretty
him.
much that's it, yeah.
Right.
And I have not met Priscilla, who's been on the show from time to time.
Oh, you have not met Priscilla?
No, I have not.
Oh,
I've
she's
seen her
wonderful, yeah.
watching the show.
Okay.
You know, an up-and-coming actress.
Yeah. Yeah, she's great. I think she's great on the radio. I think she
comes across great.
Right.
Her mother was on last week as well.
Yeah, Tammy was her mom's name.
Last name Hill?
Barnes. No, Mills.
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 I was close.
Right.
Yeah, her mom. She sounded like she's from Jersey or New York.
Right.
For
She
sure.
has that. Yeah. Hope she comes
I
to
roomed with a
visit.
guy from the Bronx for a few years, back in the mid '70s.
Was his name Brooklyn Mike?
No.
Oh, okay.
Jimmy
He's
LaValle.
from Brooklyn.
Jimmy
Okay.
LaValle. Great guy. Great chef.
Right. Brooklyn Mike was fascinated by the visit by our medium last week.
Oh, yeah. How could you not be?
Right.
It was fascinating. There's no doubt about it.
He commented in the Facebook Live room. I think he's on now. He must be off today, right? Brooklyn Mike is off, yeah, because he has that weird work schedule with because he works for the post office.
Like 4 days on, 3 days on.
Right,
that
right.
kind of
So
thing?
he may be. I wonder if he sleeps in on Monday mornings, or does he lie in bed with the cats just listening to the morning show?
Quite possibly.
He even sent me a message saying, "Great show today."
All right.
Not today, but Friday.
No, it was a great show.
Who else can we?
Haunt.
Yeah, who else can we get to come back through the from the other side?
From the other side.
Patrick Swayze. Do we go big? Do we go big and bring back Gene Rayburn?
Well, I'm all for that, but how would we get him? You know?
Right.
What would the connection be?
I don't know. We'd have to ask Regina.
You know, Regina was able to pull it off because there was a connection.
Right. But we have a connection to Gene Rayburn.
Well, kind of, sort of.
Well, I like to think we do. We are.
We do the match game.
Well, yeah, and it's kind of sealing his legacy. A lot of people don't know Gene Rayburn. You know?
Some of John's closest friends don't know that he's blank.
I like that one.
And today's response would be gay.
Right. Would it be?
Oh, absolutely.
Right. Be gay.
Some of John's closest friends don't know that he's blank.
Yeah, I guess that'd be
the standard.
Right. Isn't it funny though? You know that show had Charles Nelson Riley, and you knew he was gay.
Oh, you saw, yeah.
Right. Well, yeah, you knew it, but no one really said anything.
No, it wasn't discussed.
Right.
Because for the most part, sadly, they were screaming to get out of the closet, but they were still in.
Right. Well, that guy
Paul
was
Lind.
Right.
You know, it was a very tough time for those people. I don't want to refer to them as those people.
Right. Right.
You know, if you were gay back in the day, it was just too traumatic,
especially in Hollywood.
Absolutely. Well, look at Rock Hudson.
Right.
They actually got him married to try to pull that off.
No, he didn't look too good during his final days. Rock Hudson didn't look that great.
Ravaged.
And Paul Lynde left us at an early age too.
Was it something I said?
Yes, it was.
Right, but he was
he was great though.
He was great on Hollywood Squares.
What a talent! What a talent!
He really was. And he was on I Dream of Jeannie. He played Uncle Arthur.
Oh right, I forgot about that. Yeah. Uncle Artie.
Yeah, Uncle Arthur. I think that was his name on I Dream of Jeannie. But he was great. He was a great. He was great on the original Hollywood Squares.
Oh, he's the go-to guy.
I mean,
was he the guy in the middle?
Yes, he was the center square.
And he was definitely not square.
No, he was one like that was great. There really was. And I was a little kid. I remember my grandparents watching like Hollywood Squares and everyone laughing because some of these stars on Hollywood Squares, their star had kind of faded a little bit.
Right. And Peter Marshall brought him back. Was it Peter Marshall who was the host?
Peter Marshall was the host.
Got him back.
And I mean, you had like
you
people
saw them
like
in a new light.
Yeah. Yeah. Rosemary was on from the old Dick
Charlie
Van Dyke.
Weaver.
George Gobel. Right.
Wow.
Who else? There was they changed a lot, but a lot of the time there were some that were the same.
Yeah. They had some rotating, but there was a lot of regulars.
Right.
And you love the regulars.
Yeah.
Anne Marie.
Yes. Right. That's Anne Marie.
Dick Van Dyke.
Oh yeah. Right.
I'm trying to think.
Paul Lynde alluded to it on Hollywood Squares. A woman asked him why he didn't find a nice girl and settle down, and he said, "What do you?" He goes, "What do you?" This is one of his. This is funny. So Paul Lynde alluded. A woman asked him why he didn't find a nice girl and settle down yet, and he goes, "What do you live in a cave?" Like, get a clue or something like that.
I mean, it's obvious.
But I guess Paul Lynde though was if he hasn't. There's a book about him. He was a partier too, though. I mean, he lived very fast.
Oof.
I guess. I don't know about Charles Nelson Riley. Went on to live a lot longer than when he was on Match Game because I think he died sometime in the late '90s, early 2000s.
Really?
I think he was funny too, though.
Yeah, he was good.
He was a little more flamboyant than Paul Lynde.
You think? I don't know. I think they were equally as flamboyant.
Right.
Pretty close.
Wonder they probably knew each other.
Perhaps.
They probably traveled in the same circle. They probably knew the same people.
Could be.
You're not going there, are you?
No.
Rock Hudson. You don't want to end up looking like that. He was on Dynasty right at the end of his career, I think.
And he had a show, McMillan and Wife.
Right. That's when he looked normal. He was still a handsome man then.
Yeah.
Didn't he leave? Didn't he leave that show and then it was just and Wife?
Yeah.
Or was it just McMillan? Macmillan. What is it?
I'm trying to think of the woman that was on the show.
Yeah,
Susan St. James?
Yeah, Susan St. James.
Got it.
Right. She also was on the TV show Kate and Alley. With Jane Curtin, who was on Saturday Night
Live.
One of the original not ready for primetime players.
Jane, you ignorant slut.
Right. Chevy Chase said that. See, I was a kid. I didn't understand any of that. So when I watched some of those old, you can watch all these old clips and stuff like that. And I don't really get some of them. You know what I mean? I get it why they were controversial and stuff like that. But it seems like I identify with my era of Saturday Night Live because it was still relevant when I was in my late teens, early
20s. Yeah.
You know, the whole the Dana Carvey, Phil Hartman, and right up into Adam Sandler, Chris Farley.
Yeah, those are the Saturday Night Lives that I don't know.
Right.
I only knew the beginnings.
Right.
You know, Chase and Aykroyd.
And then it changed because
Bill Murray.
Lorne Michaels left the show for a little while.
Yep.
And Dick Ebersol took over, who's married to Susan St. James.
Bingo.
Wow. I'm connecting the
We're all
dots this morning.
Absolutely.
I'm connecting the dots this morning. And that's when you got your Joe Piscopo, Eddie Murphy, all that stuff. That was the Ebersol years of Saturday Night Live.
Just saw a thing on the news. I think it was just a regular news spot that Jerry Seinfeld, I think, has scored what he considers probably his best guess for driving cars and drinking coffee. You know, that new show he's got.
Well, yeah, I've seen the show. There's a lot of episodes, and let me see if I can guess.
You got it.
All right, he's saying he has the best guest lined up. He's interviewed Howard Stern. He's interviewed them all.
Absolutely.
I don't know. I really want to guess, though. I'll tell you what. We're going to take a little break. I'm going to think about it. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Peter White. Call us at 250-6007. It's the morning show.
Good morning, Manchester. Here's Peter White.
Good morning, Peter.
Oh, good morning, Val.
Morning, Val.
Good morning to Gary's wife. Oh, wow. I'm digging that this morning, the sound right here.
Oh, you killed it with Marvin Gaye. I loved it. That was I hadn't heard it in years.
Oh, really? That's a good one.
Ben was bringing me down when you had it on. It was awesome.
All right. How is Ben doing anyways? He's running for that charter commission.
Yes. We got to sneak him in the top 9.
Right. So the top 9 gets it.
That's it. And I think he does have a shot primarily because my theory is people are going to want new blood. And he would definitely be new blood, but recognizable new blood.
Right. Are any of those people there's not a charter commission for the school board. So this is creating something new.
A fresh 9.
All right. And they will have to deal with the school board?
I'm not sure how
does
it works.
How do they interact?
I don't know. I don't know.
Like
I don't
said,
have much
very
information.
very complicated.
Very complicated.
All right. So you're saying Jerry Seinfeld?
I'll give you one hint if you haven't already figured it out.
No. It's a big guest, huh? Let me ask you: Is it a musical guest?
I think he tried some music, but mostly comedy. And the hint from what I'll give you is former Saturday Night Live guy.
Oh. It's not Phil Hartman.
No, Phil's gone.
It's not Chris Farley.
Chris is gone.
Right. It's not John Belushi.
Sadly, John's gone. What a talent. What a
right,
talent.
right.
Man, oh, man. Gone way too early.
Right. Someone from Saturday Night Live. Someone from, is it an original primetime player?
No.
Okay.
Shortly thereafter.
Shortly thereafter. Are we talking...
You're going to score it on the computer eventually.
No, I'm not looking at it.
good.
I don't look. I don't cheat at these games. I don't. No matter what, I definitely don't cheat.
Well, I'm not generally buying that, but you can sell it.
All right. No, I'm looking at the Facebook Live.
Anybody there have a guess?
No, because they're on probably a 5-minute delay by now.
I think I just read it yesterday, as far as I can remember.
Did someone just walk in?
I do not know. Maybe it's upstairs.
I don't know. I swear to God, I thought I saw someone walk in that room again. I'm not. This is the same thing that happened to me last week. Hold on a second. Wait.
Cut it out.
I don't know. That really freaked me out. Okay, well, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, everyone. Let's get back to it. So Seinfeld. I mean, is it Eddie Murphy?
Hit it.
Okay, so that's
You got it.
Do you think that's his biggest one he's ever had? Why is he a huge fan of Eddie Murphy?
That's how he's talking it up. This is
Really?
coming from Seinfeld.
Yeah.
You know, he's had some pretty. He's had, Julia Louis-Dreyfus. You name it, they've been on.
Right.
Who else?
Everybody. Jimmy Fallon, everybody.
Everybody. Great show. I love watching it.
Yeah, and you can get it on. Where do you watch it? On your phone?
No.
On your iPad? Is it on a?
It's on. I can't remember.
I know.
Apple.
It's on something. It's on.
something.
Yeah. I'm telling you, I saw something in that other room. I swear to God.
You want me to go check?
No. It's just probably Don Tibbetts hanging out with us again.
Easy now.
It could. Hey, Regina said that
he's in the building.
He hangs around once in a while. Stefan Philbrook hasn't talked to me again. So Eddie Murphy, I had a great time. Want me to tell you how I was introduced to Eddie Murphy?
Please.
Right around 1983. Okay, I'm 13 years old. I'm a member of the Columbia Record and Tape Club, where you pay a penny and you get 13 records come in the mail 6 weeks later.
Was it a penny?
Yeah.
Oof.
Oh yeah.
It's a hell of a deal.
Yeah, you got to pick like 13 or 14 records.
But didn't you have to be a member to get that?
Well, what would happen is it would tie you into like you would have to buy 7 at regular price, which were always overpriced.
Absolutely.
And you had to do it monthly. For a year or whatever.
To get the freebies.
Yeah, but the whole thing was you got a bunch of records right away.
Yeah.
Within 6 weeks, you didn't have to pay for. Well, I mean, you had to pay a penny.
And this was vinyl.
Vinyl at the time, yes. So I'm in 8th grade. I'm 12 or 13. I'm 13 at this point, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know. I got a whole bunch. I got a lot of Van Halen records back then and stuff. But I got, and my friend at the time did too. We both got Eddie Murphy, Comedian. It had just come out. And it's the one we all know of. He talks about the ice cream man, and he does I can't play any because it's so graphic.
Yeah.
But he does a
Extremely.
barbecue, a family barbecue. He kind of makes fun of. And we listen to this all the time. Like, that's all we did was and literally laugh. Like, that's probably the biggest experience I have with a comedy record was Eddie Murphy's Comedian, which later was on HBO. I think as Eddie Murphy Delirious. It was some of those bits were played on Eddie Murphy Delirious.
That's the only place they could play it.
Right, but the other one, it was his second comedy record too. But but it was called Eddie Murphy Comedian.
Did he do an Eddie Murphy Raw?
That was afterwards. Yes.
Okay.
That was sometime later on, like '89 or something.
Okay.
And then he kind of disappeared, though.
I started acting.
Well, I mean, you had all those hit Beverly Hills Cop movies, right? You had all those. He was in a lot of movies.
Yeah.
For a while there, a lot of them.
Yeah. Some good.
Yeah, some not so good.
Some not.
But then, you know, he's voicing, isn't he a voice of someone in the Shrek movies?
Quite possibly.
Right, he does something. Or one of the Disney movies.
A lot of famous actors do voiceovers in those movies.
Right. Well, I would do that. That's a good gig.
That's a great gig. Sit in the studio and just
right, but it still is acting.
Exactly.
I mean, you still have to, you know.
It's all about the timing.
We'd have to get Priscilla in here to give us some acting lessons. It's like Skip Farnham, the guy on the Brady Bunch, who discovered them once at a grocery store to be in a commercial for soap, laundry detergent.
Sadly, I have no
or safe.
I have no Brady Bunch memories whatsoever. I'd like to chime in. But
see, that's sad. To me, maybe it's sad that I have them.
Quite possibly.
I think I even have a clip from that episode.
Mrs. Brady, the Sons are calling you.
Oh, no, that's not that episode. That's a different one.
Wow.
Right, yeah, he voices the donkey in Shrek, Eddie Murphy.
Okay.
Yeah, he did some great stuff on Saturday Night Live. Oh, yeah. Mr. Robinson's Neighborhood. Controversial stuff.
Yeah, right.
Was it Mr. Robinson's Neighborhood?
That was a spin-off of
Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood,
Rogers,
but
right,
he was in like a slum apartment. And
didn't he do something from the Our Gang thing as well?
Yeah, he was Buckwheat.
Buckwheat, right. Well, I think he called himself Buttwheat.
Yes, and he also did a great James Brown with that song Hot Tub. Like he did, yes.
I feel good.
Hot tub. Oof. Don't get me started.
Don't
with
start
hot
with the tubs.
I know.
Don't go there again.
See, maybe you should invest in a hot tub.
Not a chance.
No, why not? You ditch the air conditioner. You should treat yourself to something nice, like a nice hot tub.
The AC's in.
Oh, it's in.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I thought, okay.
When I got back from the hospital,
yeah,
I realized that things were starting to get hot, and I didn't want to put anybody in a jackpot, so Samuel came over, installed it in 3 seconds, and it's been on ever since.
Right.
I shut it off from time to time just to give it a break.
So Carol just saw Eddie Murphy on Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee, and she learned a few things about him.
All right,
really?
Give it up.
Yeah, what did you learn, Carol? Maybe we should get Carol back on the line. But then again, we'd never get her off. No, I'm just kidding. Do you know there's only like 20 minutes left. This whole hour has gone by extremely fast.
And I'm enjoying every second.
Yeah. Now, Chrissy will be back on Friday. You may pop in on Friday.
I'm going to give it a shot. I'll have to. I want to text her to see if it's okay for her to bring me home.
Okay.
Sure. And I think that'll work. Ben and I are doing the weekly Dion on Thursday.
By the way, this week you had Mayor Joyce Craig on?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. We it was a softball interview.
Right.
We didn't dig too deep.
Well, you know what? When you have a let alone an incumbent that's already in office, but when you have anybody and when you're doing me personally, I don't want to get right in there and say, yeah, well, why are there so many shootings on the corner of Union Street?
No, I wouldn't go there. But what I would ask is, just tougher questions that we actually pose to her.
Right.
Nothing, nothing inappropriate. Nothing that was going to create any kind of controversy, but just a little tougher. But the interview went well. She was great, and
she's a very pleasant person.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I was in a fashion show with her, by the way.
Really?
Yeah, remember the fashion show?
Oh, yeah. I forgot she was in it as well.
Yeah, she was in it.
That was a hell of a night.
Along with John Clayton. Wow. I haven't talked to either one of them since. No, I'm just kidding. I think I talked to... Well, I haven't talked to John in a while. Do you know there's an afternoon drinking game out there with the morning show replay?
Cut it out.
Yeah.
What's it called?
It's called if you got to take a drink if the word John Clayton is mentioned. So this afternoon, if people are playing,
Somebody's getting drunk.
Right. We just had John Clayton. And I don't know. I think there's another rule, too. If you mention any of the other Claytons, you just take a swig of beer or something like that. But if you mention John, you take the full shot.
Shot.
I haven't played. I probably can't play because I'm controlling it.
You can control your own destiny.
By just saying John Clayton.
Exactly.
Sorry, folks. You're going to be...
Things are going to get messy.
Better go to the liquor store.
You know what I tried?
You're not going to make it till 4 o'clock.
I have Fireball, that Fireball whiskey.
Yeah.
And for some reason, I was in the mood. Truth be told, I thought it might help me sleep. I've been having sleeping issues.
Right.
So I texted Ben, asked him if it was cool for me to put the Fireball in the freezer. He said, absolutely, because alcohol won't freeze.
Right.
So I put it in there, and it got nice and chilled. And I did a shot, and sadly, it didn't work.
It didn't work?
No, actually, I got a...
Did you get buzzed?
No. I only did one shot.
It's like a fine, but it's whiskey.
I only did one shot.
It's whiskey. See, you should have done 2 shots.
Well, I had 2 jiggers ready, but I just did the one.
Okay. Maybe you should bring that in and we can play the Clayton drinking game right on the air.
Oh, yeah. You get quite messy.
Right. John Clayton. See? Now they have to drink again.
You're fueling this whole show, this whole game.
Right. Someone really told me that this is a game.
Seriously?
Right. I don't know if they play in the morning or they play in the afternoon or they play on Saturday.
I hope
if you play on Saturday, it'd be a great time to play. Afternoon time, because you have 3 episodes in a row of the morning show.
Could be deadly.
Right. But I haven't, we didn't mention John's name last, yes, we may have. Yeah, I think we did. Anyway, I'm not going to say his name again, so don't worry, everybody.
Hey, did you go over the days of the week?
Yeah, I did. There was a whole bunch of nothing today.
Oh, okay.
Like a real bunch of nothing.
Okay, because I thought I missed it, but if there was a whole bunch of nothing, then we don't need to hear it.
Right. No, you didn't miss anything.
Okay.
I don't think you missed anything today if you missed this show. But like I said, I was still kind of reeling from Friday's show with, it really, really was.
Definitely a keeper.
Yeah. I'd love to have Regina back in sometime. I wonder how close she is. Maybe we could get Patrick Swayze on the show.
I wouldn't hold.
I don't know if I'd go for Patrick Swayze though. You know what I mean? Like if you're gonna,
he's already done a ghost movie.
Right.
He's probably all wore out.
I wonder if we could bring. How about who could we bring back? Like what famous person could we bring back? I'm not sure. Good morning. You're on the air.
Hi, Peter. It's Paul.
Well,
hey, Paulie C.
Well, Paul, how are you?
Good, good. Hey, Darryl, welcome back. Just a couple of questions really fast, Peter. What's the guy's name who runs the Milliard Museum? The name slipped me.
Oh, I think... let me look at my Rolodex here. Hold on.
I got a guess.
Yeah, John Clayton.
Could it be John Clayton?
Oh, thank you. I'm sorry, who is it?
It's John Clayton.
It's John Clayton.
The Milliard Museum.
Thank you. John Clayton. It's John Clayton.
Right.
He's fueling this show.
Right. And the game.
Thank you. And who is Bill Clayton's older brother?
I think it's...
Could be John Clayton.
Is John Clayton older?
Is he the oldest?
I don't know if he's... No, he's not the oldest.
Somebody's older.
Right. There's a whole bunch of Claytons.
Oh, wait a minute. So John Clayton is Bill Clayton's younger brother.
Oh, I think Bill's the youngest. Maybe.
So John Clayton is older.
John Clayton, I think, is older than Bill Clayton. But then don't forget, you got the, those are the boys. And then you got Mike Clayton. And then you got a couple other Claytons that no one ever, they're just in the background.
Gotcha.
They're all important, but everyone talks about John Clayton all the time.
Well, John Clayton is the man. He's the one who runs this city practically.
Right.
Pretty much.
Okay, and that's pretty much all I needed to know. Oh, finally, who's the face on the computer, by the way, on Darryl's computer?
Oh, that's a picture of John Clayton.
It could be John Clayton.
Right.
Okay. All right. That's all I needed to know. You guys have a great day.
Thanks,
okay,
Paul.
Paulie C. All right. Paulie C. Thank you so much.
He's deep into that game.
Right. Wow.
I hope it's being played Saturday afternoon.
Saturday afternoon or today.
Or this afternoon.
Right. See, Bill Clayton says he's blind drunk now. He's not even going to make it to the end of the show.
Ooh.
Sorry, Bill. You have time to take a nap and play again. Take another chance at 2 p.m. right here on WMNH.
Good news. I may not need a nap today.
Really?
Yeah, I slept till 5.
You slept till 5, so something tells me you're still going to take a nap.
It's possible.
Right. You know, if you're bored, you can watch old episodes of the Hollywood Squares on YouTube.
I don't generally get bored.
Right. That's right. You read all those other things.
I
like
got a
the
lot of stuff.
The Pentagon Papers. Right. That's what you do.
Yeah.
Have you caught a few episodes of The View?
I recently got another interesting book, The Warren Commission.
Okay.
On the assassination of John F. Kennedy.
Oh, boy.
That was pretty amusing.
Yeah, how'd that go?
Not well.
Really?
Not well.
You think there's something behind that? Do you think there was a cover-up with that whole Kennedy thing?
Well, what bothered me the most is that, and I went immediately to when the book was published. The book was published in October of 64. The horrific event occurred in November of 63. That means they took less than 11 months to put this bad boy together.
Right.
No way could they possibly have compiled enough real information to make this believable. There's no way.
Well, there's a whole movie on it. It's
That's the conspiracy. Yes, JFK.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what's coming up is the mini masters here in Manchester. We went last year. There's nine golf mini golf holes at different establishments in the city.
Really?
Yeah.
I have not participated.
Right. Oh boy, I just got a big Facebook notice. I joined Facebook 11 years ago. Oof. They're letting me know now. Thank you, Facebook.
Are they asking you to leave?
No, they're showing me a video. They're showing me a video, and I'm watching it like an idiot.
You can't help it.
Okay, I'll stop. I can't even shut it off. It's long too. Oh boy. Okay, I'm not looking at it anymore. Yeah, so the Manchester Mini Masters is in a couple. Laura Gilman, good morning to you. She might know.
Hi, Laura.
August 3rd is the Mini Masters.
Okay.
Yeah. I can't shut this off, man. My 11-year Facebook. Okay, there it is. All right, yeah, August 3rd is the Mini Masters. That's fun.
Have you've done it?
I did it last year.
Is there alcohol involved?
Well, yeah, yeah.
Well, I had to ask.
Yeah, well, you could, like I believe, the pint, the Shaskeen, I think margaritas this year.
So there's a drink at every bar.
Yeah, well, yeah.
It goes along with the playing of the Mini Masters.
Well, I think you have to buy your drink, but see if you can see.
Well, that makes perfect sense.
I try to get in with the Claytons and follow them around because if you see John, he might buy you a beer.
Then again, it'll be an eye.
Right. Well, he's going to have to now. Anyway. All right. Let's see. What do we got here? Well, we have a few more minutes left. What are you doing the rest of the day? You're not sure. You might take a nap. You might not.
Yeah, probably. Let me see. Not too much. Oh, good news. As we speak, my house is being cleaned.
Oh, okay. That's good, too.
It's excellent. The people that did it just before I went in for surgery did an excellent job, and I've asked them to return, and they have returned.
Really? So you really messed up the house that much in 3 or 4 weeks?
Well, it's not that messy, but it needs a hit. You gotta clean it up. Yeah. And they did a great job.
Well, things get dusty.
Absolutely.
Right.
And actually, that's what started my whole me going through the surgery, was me cleaning the house, and I had an incident trying to clean behind the toilet, and I popped the shoulder, and that's where I decided to do the surgery.
Wow.
It's very painful.
That's really something.
Yeah.
It really, really is. So, fantastic. So we might see you again Friday, and before you know it, you're going to be doing, you'll be, when are they saying you can drive? Sometime in 2020?
Yeah. Hopefully way before then, but I'll know August 9th.
Right.
August 9th is a Friday. I'll know then what's next. I know for sure the stretching exercises begin. I know I can remove the sling in the house. I have to continue wearing it out of the house.
Right.
Walking is good, so I'll be going for more walks. I visited my neighbor, who's been great. She's been a big help as well. So people have been great helping me out. I have use of my hand.
Okay, well, that's good.
It's actually good, but that's as far as it goes. So I got two hands, but only one arm.
Okay, and so you're learning. So are you good at using your left hand now?
Much better.
Will you start now? When you have your right arm back, will you still continue to use your left hand?
No, no. Why would I?
Right. Oh, I liked it so much that I use my left hand now.
Well, the problem is, especially if I've got a piece of steak, how's that getting cut?
Right.
That's not getting cut. I have to go,
Yeah, how do you? So you can't eat steak right now?
No, I'd have to,
Someone would have to cut your meat.
Nobody's cutting my meat. I got to tell you that.
Really? No one's cutting your meat?
No.
Okay.
But other than that,
then how will you eat steak?
Great. No, I'm not eating steak.
Aw.
But everything else is great.
Well, if you order it somewhere and then it comes to you, say, can you guys cut it for me, please?
Funny you should say that. Well, Ben and I went out to supper last week, and I kidded him about, if I order a steak, will you cut it? And Ben said very conclusively, no way, Jose.
Right. Really?
It's disturbing.
Why
really?
Why does he call you Jose?
Jose, can you see?
Right. Oh, boy.
But it's been interesting. So that from the 9th, 6 weeks out, there's another 6-week period of rehab.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Part 3? Part 2?
Part 2. Yeah.
Part 2.
The part 3 looks, pretty okay.
Relatively easy.
Yeah. I think I'm past it. Ben has a theory about me being able to drive for the next round.
Right.
Removing the sling, stick it in the back seat, and trying to drive. But still, I got to reach over to the shifter, and I got to tell you that motion is could be dangerous. I just got
putting the car from park to drive,
reverse, whatever. Yeah.
Right.
So I'm gonna.
Oh yeah, because you have to.
Exactly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to practice, and if I can pull it off in the driveway without going anywhere,
right,
without
smashing into your house,
without the pain factor is critical. I don't need to, I've been pretty pain free,
right?
So I don't want to create any pain by doing this. So we'll see how it shakes out. I may have a shot.
Right. Well, when will you start practicing?
August 10th.
Okay. Oh, that's the day.
Yeah, August 9th, actually, I'll give you a little moment in history.
Okay.
August 9th, 1969. That's the day and time where I was first married.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it would be 50 years.
Wow.
If we had stayed married.
Okay.
The good news is we didn't.
Right.
And the upside is we did create a beautiful daughter, Heather, who lives in California.
Okay.
And but our relationship was not based on love.
Right.
It was a whole other thing.
Right, I can imagine. The summer of love.
50 years. And the week after was...
Oh, that was 1967 was the summer of love. But
right.
Your summer of love was 1969, the same year we landed on the moon.
And the same year of Woodstock.
Wow.
Should have gone to Woodstock. It happened a week later.
Really? A lot going on. A lot going on that
was a
summer.
hell of a year.
Right.
Yeah. And some of it was good. Some of it wasn't.
Right. Yeah, a lot going on in six. That was right. See, I was born in I went to school with a lot of people that were born in 1969, but I was born in 1970.
You just missed it.
And that's fine. That's fine. I'm glad I was born in 70 because I've always, I turned 10 in 1980, 20 in 1990.
Easy to keep track.
Very easy to keep track of how old I'm going to be in the future. Great.
Yeah, 50 screaming at you, bud.
It is.
You got a kick out of that one.
Right. 50 years old.
50 is a landmark.
It is a landmark, really. Probably more than 40.
Way more.
I got to get I got to get a new I got to get a license renewed this time around.
Oh, on your 50th year?
No, I have to do it this year, my
Oh, this year?
49th year.
Okay.
I'm not even 49 yet, so let's not even talk about my 50.
No.
I'm only 48 years old.
You don't want to go there if you don't have to.
Right. I have a year and 2
Couple
months.
of months.
A year and 2 months before I am 50. Before I am half a century. Thank you, Michael Albert, for pointing that out. That's right. 50 in 2020. But see, my birthday is coming up, so that's why I'm 40. I still say I'm 48, but I have a few more weeks of being 48.
And you're 48.
Right. And then I'll be 49. Yeah, you just had a birthday. You had a big one.
Yeah.
Another milestone.
Yeah, 7-0 is a real treat.
Is it a treat? But when you're 70, you don't notice it. You know, you're like,
I can assure you.
No, you notice it. But what I'm saying is, you don't feel any different as far as mentally. Like, I'm 70.
I feel very, very, I don't know, alive. And 70 wasn't a bad thing because it's all about health.
He's alive.
I'm alive.
All right. We're gonna say goodbye to everyone on our Facebook Live.